Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for today's video discussion, we're going to talk about nominal and effective interest rates. In the previous lessons, medyo na babanggit ko na sa inyo yung iba't ibang terms for paying a certain debt, loan, o kaya ay for accumulating interest in a certain investment or deposit. Nababanggit ko yung mga terms like quarterly, semi-annually, monthly. So this time, mas deeper yung magiging discussion natin on that area because we are going to talk about nominal rate. So in practice, during the announcement of the terms of financial transaction, in general, pwede siyang loan, pwede siyang investment, pwede siyang deposit. So the annual interest rate is often specified and the number of interest payments per year is indicated. For instance, there may be a quarterly calculation or 4 times a year nagko-compound yung interest. Noong mga nakaraang example natin, lagi tayong annual. Isang beses lang nagkakaroon ng interest for a given year. Pero this time, lalo na dun sa mga banking institutions natin, flexible yung or may iba't ibang types ng nominal rate na ginagamit. And this is one of the common types, the quarterly calculation. So in this case, we will indicate the notion of the nominal rate by the symbol J. Let the number of interest payments per year be equal to M. Then the interest calculation is made at the rate J over M. And the total number of payment intervals is n years will equal to m times n. So the calculated sum is determined by this formula. So meron na naman tayong isang idadagdag na formula. Siguro by this time, naka-move on na kayo from the previous formulas that we use nung GE 114, which are I is equal to P, RT, at saka A is equal to P plus I. Siguro ngayon, sanay na kayo that A is equal to S and that lowercase I is equal to R. So, hindi ko na i-compare yung mga ginagamit nating formula from GE114 dun sa mga formula na gagamitin natin using this reference. So just give me a moment while I fix some technical issues. I'll be back. Okay, our formula is given by S is equal to P, open parenthesis 1 plus J over M raised to the power of M multiplied by N. So please take note of this formula. We're going to use it later. So now let's talk about the effective rate. So to compare various conditions of interest calculation at various nominal rates and different number of calculations, the notion of effective rate is used. The effective rate is the annual rate of interest calculated once a year that gives the same financial result as M, single calculation per year with the use of the nominal rate J. So by definition, the following equality of accumulation factors must be fulfilled. So you are familiar with 1 plus I. This is the base that we use for getting the compound interest multiplied by P raised to the power of N, right? So this is equal to 1 plus J over M raised to the power of M, given that M is fulfilled. So where I effective rate, hence we obtain our value for the interest rate I is equal to 1 plus J over M raised to the power of M minus 1. So the exchange of the nominal rate J at interest calculation M times a year for the effective rate with formula 1.7. So ito yun. Here. For Formula 1.7, in the agreement does not change the financial obligations of the parties. When comparing various offered variants of interest calculation, it is sufficient to calculate and compare the effective rates for each of them. So, lagay tayo ng isang example. So, example 1.7. So, the bank calculates the interest out of the nominal value of J, which is equal to 12% per annum. So, annually, magkakaroon siya ng interest na 12%. Calculate the effective rate I if the interest is calculated. 1. Ang condition natin, nagkakaroon siya ng interest every day. So, ilang days meron tayo sa isang year? So, to be exact, we have 365 except for leap year wherein we have 366. Pangalawa, nagko-compound yung interest niya monthly. So, we have M, which is equal to 12. Pangatlong case, nagko-compound yung interest niya quarterly. We have M is equal to 4. And the calculation by Formula 1.7 gives the following results at daily calculation. So, ang interest natin pagka daily is 0.1274. Paano nangyari yon? So, hindi siya magkakaroon ng 12% interest araw-araw. Sobrang laki na nung pera nila kung ganon. Yung 12%, hahatiin mo siya sa 365. Okay? So, I want you to get your calculator and then please compute for this value of I. So, take note, nandito pa lang tayo sa letter A, which is daily. So, ready na? Okay, so I will just prepare my board so that you can see how it is done. Okay, and now the board is ready. So, balikan natin yung mga formulas natin kanina. So, sabi natin, we have 1 plus I is equal to 1 plus J over M raised to the power of M. This is formula number, formula number 1.8. So, paano natin kukunin yung interest na I? So, that is in formula 1.9. So, ito, since wala naman tayong mababiolate na rule, we can simply remove the parenthesis here. Ay, ang laki ng pambura. Hindi ko pala siya na-adjust. Pang trigo pa yung pambura niya. So, we have here 1 plus I. So, to get the formula for I, ang nawawala ay I, all we have to do is to use addition property of equality, subtract 1 from both sides. You have 1 plus J over M raised to the power of, this is J ha, J. Raised to the power of M and then minus 1 at the end. So now, focus na tayo kay I. Dito muna tayo sa A. A is daily. Daily daw siya. So, M is equal to 365. Magkano ang interest rate niya kung daily? And your annual interest is 12%. So, for I, it is equal to 1 plus the J, which is 12%. J here, 12% is 0.12. So, we have 0.12 divided by your M. And M is equal to 365. Raised to the power of M ulit, which is 365. minus 1. So at this point, we are going to need a calculator. So please prepare your calculator, preferably scientific. Okay, so our calculator is ready. Let us plug in the formula. So open parenthesis, 1 plus, let's insert a fraction. We have 0.12 in the numerator and then 365 in the denominator. Let's close our quantity and then let's put a power. Ayan, maglagay tayo ng power. Power of 365 and then ibaba natin yung ating cursor. Teka lang. Power of 365 minus 1. So you will end up with 0.127474. So our I here is 0.1274. Same as our answer in the book. So 0.1274. So this is for A. Let's go to B. So for B, we have monthly. And how many months are there in a year? We have M is equal to 12. So now, let's substitute the values. We have 1 plus, same pa rin tayo ng J, that is 0.12 pa rin. But our M will be changed to 12. And then our power will be 12 as well. And then subtract 1. Our I will then be equal to, buksan natin yung scientific calculator natin. Papalit ko pa ba to? Yun. So, dito na tayo 1 open parenthesis 1 plus, insert tayo ng fraction, 0.12 on the numerator, 12 on the denominator, and close our parenthesis. Raise it to the power of 12. Ibaba natin yung cursor. We have minus 1 sa huli. So, our I is 0.1268. We have here I is equal to 0.1268. Ayan. So, tama. Match siya dun sa nasa book. And finally, let's compute for quarterly. So, same procedure lang ulit for quarterly. Ilang quarters meron sa isang taon? Kaya nga siya quarter, ibig sabihin, 4. So, M is equal to 4. So, I, 1 plus 0.12, hindi magbabago si J, divided by 4, raised to the power of 4, minus 1. So, I is equal to 1 plus, ay teka, compute na nga pala tayo nito. So, insert tayo ng another line. We have open parenthesis, 1 plus, insert fraction. On the numerator, 0.12. On the denominator, we have 4. And close it. Raise it to the power of 4. And then subtract 1. We have 0.1255. So this is 0.1255. Okay? So that is how you get the values for I at different terms M. Okay. I hope that was clear. So if the effective rate I is given, then it is possible to determine the nominal rate J at the number of payments M. So we have J is equal to M times quantity, open parenthesis 1 plus I raised to the power of 1 over M minus 1. So ano ibig sabihin nito? Pag ang nawawala ay si J, tapos ang given ay si I, ito yung gagamitin. Dito kasi sa example 1.7 natin, ang nawawala ay yung effective rate I. Ang meron ay yung nominal value J. Gawa tayo ng isang example. So, ang effective annual rate daw ay 12%. Determine the nominal rate J if the interest is calculated daily, monthly, and quarterly. So, copy ko lang to dun sa sheet natin. Then, we are going to solve for it using our new formula. Okay, and now we're ready. So, ang I is 12%. So, this can also be written in decimal as I is equal to 0.12. So, yun lang yung kailangan natin. Now, let's start with daily. Ang daily is M is equal to 365. So, solve tayo. Nawawala si J. We have the value of M, which is 365, times, open parenthesis, quantity of 1 plus I, given si I, 0.12, raised to the power of 1 over 365 minus 1, and then close your quantity. So, let's use our scientific calculator in solving for this problem. Take note, I will only show you the computation for daily since we don't have enough time. And I have to upload it as soon as I can. Okay, lagay tayo dito ng isa pang line, isang window for our calculation. So we have 365. I-multiply natin siya with the quantity of, double quantity siya, 1 plus 0.12. Close natin yung parenthesis, and then erase natin ito to the fraction. Yan, lagay tayo ng fraction. On the numerator, it is 1. On the denominator, it is 365. And then, baba natin yung cursor, minus, minus 1, and then close natin yung parenthesis. You will end up with 0. I'm really sorry. So, 0.1133. So, let's check if the answer from the book is the same. Yes, it is 0.1133. So, for the monthly calculation, quarterly calculation, please follow the procedure that I did using your scientific calculator, and you should end up with 0. Hindi to comma ha. This is 0.1139 and 0.1149 for monthly and quarterly respectively. Okay? So thank you for listening, and on the next video discussion, we are going to talk about determining the loan duration and interest rates. Thank you and see you next time. Bye!